universe every single day. From the smallest to the greatest. You see, in God there is no small or great. It's just what you say. It's just what you say. So, Sunday after Sunday I say to you, well, you said that the traffic is tough and 5 o'clock and I got to get out early because I always get stuck in traffic. Well, you can leave at 3. You'll be in traffic. Because that's what you believe in. So you will find yourself where there's been an accident, you're in the wrong lane, everybody, your mother's moving over here, you're stuck over there. It's absolutely almost on an amazing level. But it is so exact in terms of what you've said to me. It is so exact. And the piece about that for me, when I really got it, is that I can begin to say something entirely different. I can say I move with freedom and ease no matter what time of day it is. And I'm going to move with freedom and ease. I don't know if you all heard this particular thing, but I was on my way to class one day. And I'm in this lane on 85. I'm just zooming along. And I look over, and 2 lanes over, that lane's moving too. Guess what? Grace was in that lane. We go, hey! Why? Because we both believe we can move in freedom and ease. Therefore, where we go, where we're led, those lines are going to move. Chester and I went out to see the fireworks on July 4th. We went out to Paris. And we went way, way up in the front. And we're sitting there enjoying the fireworks, and then it's over, and we're looking at all these cars around us, and we're going, okay, so how do we get out of here? With freedom and ease. Do you know that a police officer came over to us and directed us out of the line, gave a brand new exit for us? We were the first ones out of the car. And that's just how it works. That is just how it works. The key is for us to really begin to examine the kinds of things we're saying to ourselves. And some of the things that I think we really need to look at is our health. What are you saying about your health? Are you saying to yourself, I'm getting older now? And you know how it is when we get older. Your body doesn't work as good as it did before. Well, guess what? The universe is agreeing with you. It'll absolutely agree with you. What we know is that we are constantly making new cells, constantly making new bodies. What directs that is your thought process. There's something in us that, like I said in meditations, there's some intelligence in us that comes in and it sweeps. It doesn't sweep, it goes, let's see. Oh, those cells over there, they're off the hook. Let's get rid of them. And it sweeps them out and puts in new ones. Now, the new ones it puts in are connected to what you believe about them. If you believe those new cells are old, then so be it. We'll find some old ones for you. If you believe that you are constantly renewed, and I'm talking about a physical body, constantly renewed, you will get whole, healthy, wonderful cells. Moving into those spaces where those cells that no longer serve you go out. We're constantly swapping off cells. It's a system that is just incredibly awesome. It works without us putting input into, thank God, because we had to tell our heart to beat when we get busy. We'd be in deep trouble. So this intelligence that we have has set a mechanism up that knows how to keep it moving, keep it going. The only interference is your thought process. If you had people in your family that died of heart trouble, and that's an underlying subconscious belief and concern, it will show up as something you're going to experience. Because what you're basically saying to the universe is, my family has heart trouble. And I am emotionally attached to these group of spirits I call family. Therefore, I am going to have heart trouble. Now here's the deal. If you eat like them and you think like them, get ready for the heart trouble. If you eat like they did and you think like they did, you will experience the same things they did. For we are shapen into iniquity by our parents and the authorities around us. So the things that people begin to teach us, if you have a parent that holds grudges, get ready for cancer. Because every time you get angry and release these acids and don't open your mouth to say what's on your mind, it finds a place in your body and it will begin to eat at itself. Now, you're going to call that genetics. It's not genetics. It's the way you think and act in life. If you teach that to your children, they will do the same thing. They will not have the ability to say, I'm upset about something. I need to talk about something. Let me explain this. You have shut them down, but the process of the anger is still there. That is what you have helped to shape your children into iniquity. It is not something that is genetically passed on. It is a behavior. And for most of what we experience in life, it is a behavior. It is a belief. When we begin to look at what isn't working as well as we'd like, we can begin to identify the beliefs. Once we identify it, now what? Now you have to find something else to believe. So the person who is constantly angry, doesn't voice it, has got to learn another way of coping with life. Has got to have the chutzpah to be able to say to somebody, that's New York, has to have the how can I say that without being rude? Has to have the guts, the audacity, the courage. Thank you. The courage to say what's on their mind and not be concerned about whether that individual is going to like them anymore. Have the courage to speak your voice. And when you begin to learn how to do that and learn how to do it in a tactful manner, then you can walk around and be free. You're not holding stuff. And you will then model for your children and the people around you to do the same thing. So part of it is recognizing, what am I constantly saying to myself? What we call self-talk. What am I saying to myself? Am I sitting in my office and somebody approaches me and I now say, well, here comes so-and-so. I know they're going to have something smart to say. And surprise, surprise, what do you do? They will not fail you. Why? Because you put it out into the universe for them to act in that manner towards you. One of the gifts I have is teaching. And I don't know if you are aware of this, but at the beginning of the year, teachers passed on the files of children that they had in the previous year. They not only pass along the files, but they pass along the experience that they have had with individual children. And, oh, this one's just wonderful. You just go, oh, so. And, no, you're not going to like this. This one spent the whole year in the office. Now, if you listen to the breakdown that individuals have on those children, and you decide that's the truth, trust me, you will have the same experience because you have consciously set yourself up to expect somebody to act in a certain manner. And what I learned early on was, just give me the records, okay? I don't want to hear what you had to say about it. I really don't care. What happens between that child and me is between that child and me. I don't want to hear this stuff. Actually, I didn't want to read the records, and I didn't, unless it was a medical